What does it mean to be patriotic? To take up arms and fight for liberty, united against a common enemy that laid claim to our territory? Those who ruled our land and rewrote our history, who fueled intolerance through ruthless division, who proclaimed truth spoken to be acts of treason, punished and killed for speaking your tongue, telling the truth, or even expressing an opinion. I know how the song goes. We all hear it every year, at least once. Amar bhai ram tera mano, 21 February, ami ki bhulite pari. That's the gist of it anyway. I find it ironic to sing in remembrance of martyrs whose cause remained forgotten, to sing with voices made silent every day, cries unheard, pleas ignored, theories dismissed, votes uncast or not even counted. It seems that over the years, we have become our own worst enemies, forsaking ideals our nation was built upon, even before that black night in 1971 when progressive minds were picked off one by one and killed. Planned to perfection, a ruthless genocide, strategic annihilation through murder and rape, bodies of Hindus and Muslims lay side by side in graves that marked the price of freedom. My eyes have never borne witness to such atrocities. Maybe that's why they're not blinded by obedience nor hardened by years of experience of succumbing to a mind-numbing reality. Ours is a generation of drifters and dreamers, our minds opened as we sought new horizons, propelled by advance of technology and expanse of travels. They tell us our visions don't belong, that we are corrupted by Western ideals. They try to shame us for not hiding behind closed doors and for living our lives openly. They try to undermine us for our positions of privilege and ability to speak English fluently, as though this poem would somehow be more valid had I written it in Bengali, as though we are to blame for the institutions that were built from the bones of our revolution. The hope for better futures didn't leave much room for our mother tongue in our British standard education. Our history books actually glorified oppression and colonization. I find it ironic they're written by the same damn people who conquered and divided our once great nation. We learned about the creations of the Egyptians, the philosophies of the Greeks, the politics behind the world wars, and that only hippies wanted peace. I find it ironic, or maybe not, that our books never taught us about the ancient civilization of Bengal, no lessons from great Buddhist scholar Atish Dipankar, born in Bengal, a short distance away from the golden twin temples of Shiva and Kali's cosmic dance eternal, a stone's throw away from the mosque of Baba Adam. We were colonized into our fate to be divided. Feudal lords became slaves of wealth and power. Unwritten laws dictated that memshibs and chakors had different colors of skin. Not to be conditioned into prudish silence, let us dare to be impolite. Hang on, somebody. Ring the sirens. Let us break free of a few lies that keep us shackled and let us confess our sins. Now, I don't think this makes me any less patriotic, but I find it ironic that women have been our country's leaders for the best part of 2 decades, and yet women get stripped naked in broad daylight and those who are guilty just get away with it? They are protected by those on top for ensuring they never have to get their hands dirty. Now that we're on the topic, I also find it ironic that children die on the streets every day. But the only time somebody seems to care is when a gruesome video is shared online and it goes viral just for a few days. Yes, justice did prevail, but not when some rich kid of Dhaka drove drunk, hit some people and didn't even go to jail. Smartphone priests, we all are completely oblivious to the fact that we are part of the same problems with no clue how to solve them, while we compete with our ego trips and say it wasn't me. We are the offspring of many war-torn generations who waved their outdated customs and beliefs in our faces as though they were medals, as though that's all it takes to be patriotic, to simply adhere to society's expectations? Never put a foot out of line, swallow your tongue, witness the decay of humanity through apathy and cultural stagnation? We have forgotten the wisdom of the ancients who worship different gods and live side by side. We have forgotten that we are all made from the same soil of this tiny fertile delta. Freedom flows through the veins in our hands. Freedom blows with the wind through fields of gold. Freedom is in our blood. It's in our land's 700 rivers. Before there was country, there was land without borders or lines, shaped by elements and shared by animals and ancients who knew there was no good reason to separate creatures of different habits and faiths. We all bear witness to change in the same 6 seasons. I believe it was Tagore that once said, "Into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake."